Retro.
Hi, this is Fred Tatasciore, and you're listening to Dennis and Jay on Podcast Stardust. The Force is strong with both of them.
Sukuigar, Star Wars fans. I'm Jay Krebs.
And double that for me. I'm Dennis Keithley.
And this is another fully armed and operational edition of Podcast Stardust, the galaxy source for Star Wars news, reviews, and discussion. But before we get started, Dennis, can you let everybody know where our listeners can find us on social media?
All right. We are on the HoloNet, Facebook, and Instagram at Podcast Stardust.
Perfect. So I greeted you today with Sukuigar, which is the Mandalorian greeting for hello, because on this episode of Podcast Stardust, episode 1010, or should we start saying 1010 now? I don't know. Anyways, we are highlighting a few Mandalorian-themed items for our special monthly feature we call World Between Worlds, as well as some Maul-inspired merch. So if you're new to the podcast, welcome. World Between Worlds is a mystical dimension that connects Star Wars fashion and lifestyle products to your space and time. The goal is to bring you a wide variety of ideas for products and activities to surround you, outfit you, and show you the way to express your Star Wars fandom in everyday life. So as I hinted, this month we're covering some merch to help you get the jump on prepping for the Mandalorian and Grogu theatrical release in May, Maul Shadow Lord animated series on Disney Plus in April, as well as some other fun products for galactic-inspired St. Patty's Day and or Easter. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And as I go over a lot of the Maul-inspired things, I'm going to say Darth Maul a lot because that's what a lot of the merch is. But we know that the Darth title has been dropped. So it's just Maul now, as Sam Witwer would say. But before we dive in, Dennis and I need to talk about updates on whether either of us received any Star Wars goodies since our last World Between Worlds episode, acquired any by other means, or any updates that we might have. So Dennis, as always, you get to go first.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint everyone, but nothing new in this regard. It's March, well beyond the Christmas season, and there just isn't a lot of gift giving opportunities. And I get most of my Star Wars fashion stuff from my wife, and so there just hasn't been really opportunities for that as of yet. I guess I did actually get a Pop Love card from her that had Darth Vader on it. Love Pop rather card last month for Valentine's Day, which is pretty cool. And those are always fun. We were just talking about those on our Valentine's preview. So that did show up. Yeah. Like you, Jay, I mean, and Craig, I've been married for a long time to Beth. And so we don't do a lot of elaborate stuff for Valentine's Day, but we do exchange cards. And so that was fun to get that from her. And so she was always looking out for me.
Aw, that's awesome. And you do have, Father's Day and your birthday coming up in the summer months here. So I'm sure there will be much more to report. And quick aside, I did see that Love Pop actually does have a Mandalorian and Grogu Easter card that they've added this year to their lineup. So I didn't put that officially in our notes, but I will definitely throw that in there as a quick little hit there for anyone that might be interested in the Love Pop line. So that's cool though. Those cards are always awesome. So I had a little bit of a surprise. So at my son and daughter-in-law's baby shower just recently, my brother sent along a little gift with my sister-in-law, and it is the Uncanny Brands Star Wars Darth Vader and Death Star grilled cheese maker / panini press / indoor grill. That's a lot to say in one little sentence, but that is the official title of this nice little kitchen appliance. So as you can imagine, this little compact grill is made for the countertop, and it is designed to make 2 servings at once of your favorite type of grilled cheese. And so it has that classic Star Wars design of Darth Vader and the Death Star that you can lovingly imprint into your grilled cheese sandwiches and the like. And so again, it has that classic Star Wars design, and they have some durable plates that give you the best grilling in the galaxy, and we'll put those little silhouettes on there for you. Has the nonstick coating on the inner plates that are durable, easy to clean, and reduce the need for butter and oil. And so I haven't had a chance to try this out just yet, but I'm really excited to do so. And so, yeah, I don't own a panini maker, so this is going to be a very fun thing for me. I think I definitely would have used this a lot more when the kids were little, just because it's so much fun, of course, to put the little designs onto your toasted bread sort of thing. But do you own a panini maker, or do you own anything like this?
We had a panini maker in the past. It was not Star Wars themed, that we ended up getting rid of just because of disuse, and it was taking up
Mhm.
space. One of the fun things I'm noticing on this Amazon page that you put on our notes is
Mhm.
that customers also viewed there is a Uncanny Brands Star Wars waffle maker that is the Millennium Falcon, and then a
Yeah.
Boba Fett, and then they have a Darth Vader 2-slice Empire toaster. So forgive the aside, but I am just picturing Darth Vader as a pitchman. When I get hungry, I go to my panini maker, the type of thing. Because uh, I
Love
don't know
that.
why that struck me at the moment, but I could just see him and Sidious pitching products there to fund the Empire.
Oh, that's great. That would have been a great little, like, robot chicken, ad insert sort of thing that could have gone into something like that. I like that. Good
Mhm.
ideas, good ideas. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I looked for this on Amazon and they do have it listed, but it's currently unavailable. But as you pointed out, there is an entire Uncanny Brands store on Amazon. And if anybody is interested in any of these products, please make sure you hit up our show notes because all the links will be there. And so there's a ton of different things that are on this site. And so one of them is a Darth Maul waffle maker. So you can have, the face of Darth Maul right on your waffles, which is awesome. And they also have a mini Ewok waffle maker. So you can put Ewoks on there as well. The Millennium Falcon waffle maker that you mentioned is here. There's also the two-sided Darth Vader head. They call it a halo toaster, so it pops out the top of his head. You've got electric salt and pepper shakers. You've got a popcorn maker, which I actually want to pick that popcorn maker up because my husband and I are currently in a popcorn mode. And so that one is actually selling for $99.95, the R2D2 one. But there's a little bit more of a smaller version that is also a little bit more affordable. It is a Death Star popcorn maker for $54.99 on the site. One thing I do get a lot of use out of that I didn't realize was an Uncanny Brands is their slow cooker. So they have a picture of a 2-quart slow cooker on their website here that has all of the like chibi character type things. So you've got Boba Fett and Luke, Han, Leia, R2D2, C3PO, Boba Fett, all of our favorites against like a blue star background. And mine is the traditional, whatever the bigger one is. I'm assuming it's like a 4-quart or 6-quart. I use the heck out of that thing. I truly do. Like, and I use my slow cooker probably at least once a week, if not more, depending on what I have going on. So those are definitely some good picks. So if you head over, they have all of those available, and they even have some other franchises too. So if you're into things like Dr. Seuss, Pokemon, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, just quick aside, they have Peanuts, Marvel, even Bob Ross. So if you're a big Bob Ross fan and you like happy little trees, you can have happy little iconic Bob Ross faces all over your toast and your waffles as well, which is a lot of fun. So again, that is Uncanny Brand. So check that out. So much fun.
Indeed, indeed, yeah. They lots of different characters you can make waffles out of
For
in the Star Wars
sure.
galaxy there. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what they need to do is they need to have a site. I mean, they can put your dog's faces on pajamas anymore. They need to have a website where you can put like your own face on a waffle baker. You know? That would be a lot of
I
fun. That'd be such a fun little like personalized gift. Just saying. Come on, make it so out there. Whoever's listening, make it
enjoy my
so.
presence at breakfast every morning.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
Perfect. All right. So let's move on to some new merch here. So we've got the first Mandalorian and Grogu merch revealed at the New York Toy Fair on February 12th of 2026. So it was right after we recorded our previous episode of World Between Worlds. Of course, that's how it usually happens for us, but that's okay. So if you head over to the official Star Wars website, you can see all of the things that are revealed in the Most Wanted campaign that unveiled that first merchandise for the movie. And so there's a bunch of things like toys and whatnot on here, but there's a couple of things that fit into our fashion and lifestyle products. And one of those is the Mandalorian and Grogu baby toy collection by Kids Preferred. So there are some soft activities, toys, and a super snuggly Grogu plush that's perfect for nap time. And then there's also a cookbook that's coming out. So there's a prototype kind of, first draft cookbook cover on the website right now, but it is the Mandalorian cookbook, official recipes from the outer reaches of the galaxy by Jen Fukiyawa and Mark Sumerak. And so it says on the website, jump in the Razor Crest and start cooking the Mandalorian way. So starting fall of 2026, fans will be able to cook up delectable dishes from the world of the Mandalorian. So there will be 70 flavorful recipes inspired by the adventures of Din Djarin, Grogu, Grief Karga, Ahsoka Tano, and more. So I'm really interested in that. Each recipe includes step-by-step instructions suitable for all levels, from foundlings to seasoned chefs. So I would say that's probably the one that I'm most excited about because, of course, I love me the cookbooks, and I've kind of, started a collection of Star Wars cookbooks, not intentionally, but it's just sort of happened along the way. And I know you own a few of those as well.
Yeah, I need to go back and check some of those out. It's been a while since I did that. Like I have the Galaxy's Edge cookbook, which is fine, except for I distinctly get the impression that it was written before like a lot of the menus at Galaxy's Edge were finalized. So
Mhm.
they're similar, but not quite the same to a lot of things that we've experienced while we were in the parks. But uh, those are things are fun to come up with, something new to try at home. And uh, I also suspect if you have younger kids, that would, be fun doing a Star Wars meal for that. That would be a really great addition. But
Mhm.
yeah, so definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, for sure. So
Mhm.
we'll keep you updated because much more merch will become available as the release of the movie draws nearer. And of course, any updated types of things we will cover here on World Between Worlds. So, all right, let's change our focus now to some mall merch. And there's a lot that's out there that I'm really excited about. And probably right now, the one I'm most excited about is this just dropped on March 5th. So it is the Loungefly Darth Maul Roses Slouch Mini Backpack. And so this is available at both Hot Topic and Box Lunch. And this is selling for $90 right now on both of those websites. And so basically, it is a black mini backpack. And it has some embroidered red designs that are modeled after Maul's markings. Boy, say that 10 times fast. Modeled after Maul's markings, and it has some rose detailing. So it has a front zipper pocket with a Sith emblem charm, a drawstring closure, a magnetic snap flap, adjustable straps, and an interior zipper pocket. So this one's definitely a lot more understated than the previous mall designs that they had in the backpacks through Loungefly. So some of the other ones that they still have available actually do have Darth Maul's full visage, his full face on the front of the backpack, which if you want, literally something front and center with Maul's face on it, that's the one to get. But this one I like because It's got that little kind of feminine, with the rose look and that type of thing to it, but it's definitely very unmistakable, the Maul colors and so on and so forth. So I was really excited about that one. And I would love to have this one. I love me the backpacks, and so that's definitely right up my alley, especially the mini ones, because the bigger ones can be a little bit too bulky to carry around on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis. But that one's fun. And if you do shop at Box Lunch, they have what is their rewards program, the box lunch money that's available that you can earn when you purchase this one. I'm assuming Hot Topic will probably allow you to get hot cash as well for that. So I'm kind of assuming on that. So don't quote me, but you can definitely check into it if you have one or the other. So depending on where you like to shop, you've got a couple options on that one. So the next one is Roosevelt's, and if you're not familiar with Roosevelt's, it's actually spelled capital RSVLTS. And I was really impressed. They have a myriad of mall products on their website, 21 of them to be exact. So if you are a golfer, they have a fairway head cover, a ball marker that you can use. They have a mallet putter head cover for you. They even have a blade putter head cover, all kinds of fun things. And then if you're not really into the golfing, but you're into the fashion, they have what they call their mall markings performance hoodie. So essentially, the mall markings are exactly what you would imagine that they are. So they're kind of this conglomeration of Maul's red and black tattoos with the yellow horns, sort of in this, I guess you could say, impressionistic design, sort of all over the place. And so the performance hoodies are one of the things that Roosevelt's is recently added to their lines. And typically they have these really nice button ups that they sell. And so this one is a really soft and stretchy hoodie that is screaming that Darth Maul motif. And so the specs on this one is that it's 92% polyester, 8% spandex. So it's got that light, breathable, comfy fit, four-way stretch. And so it's perfect for playing around with, whatever you have on your daily basis kind of thing. And then they even have boxer shorts. They have their typical button up short sleeve shirts. They also have an all day polo, which this one is a lot less, understated, I guess you could say, than the other mall markings, which are all over the place. So the all day polo is simply black, and you get the red and black markings on the lapel and the area where it buttons up. And then you also have Darth Maul's silhouette, I guess you could say, on the breast portion of that. They have hybrid shorts available as well, and there's some other designs in the collection as well. So again, Roosevelt's is kind of knocking it out of the park with a bunch of their designs. And I know for both of us, the designs on these are a little much, but if you had to
Mm-hmm.
pick one, which one would you pick?
Ooh. Um. hmm, Not the boxers.
They don't have
That
socks, so we're getting to those
Yeah, they
though.
don't have socks. That's a bit loud. Okay, here's my problem is that I tend to wear a lot more solid colors, and I'm not as into the print all over everything.
Mhm.
Um, Scrolling through this page, the thing that appeals to me the most is it's not even a mall item. It's the Star Wars A Cut Above the Ordinary All Day Polo, which is a polo shirt that's got a bunch of different lightsabers all over it there. And I yeah, I mean, some of the other things, if they were maybe a t-shirt, would work for me, but since they are going for the frequently the polo or the button down type of thing, that just doesn't work for me, my style wise here. But
Mhm.
you really got to be comfortable with in your face on these designs, because as you pointed out with that performance hoodie with all the model markings, I mean, that is red and black and bright. with the yellow horns and stuff like that. And it's busy. It's very, very
It
busy.
is.
It's going to attract attention.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It's very busy indeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Roosevelt has a presence typically at a lot of the fan conventions. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're not familiar with their quality and their fabrics and that type of thing, because they do have a little bit of a higher price point when it comes to some of their pullovers and their polos and that type of thing. But I will say that the performance fabric is a very nicely made fabric and it doesn't wrinkle, hardly at all. And so it's got a lot of resiliency and that type of thing to it. And sometimes Roosevelt's has really good sales too. So if you're interested in any of the products and you've got, a con coming up like a fan expo or a Galaxy Con or something like that, typically Roosevelt's has a booth there. And I know that they've had a presence at Star Wars Celebration as well. So we can definitely look forward to seeing them hopefully in 2027. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. All right. So moving on. So if you need some fun eyewear for some mall inspired kinds of things, you can head over to, I've got a couple different websites that we've talked briefly about before, but it's been a while. So I figured I'd include them for anyone that's new to World Between Worlds. So the first one is Diff Eyewear. And so Diff is really popular for a lot of different Star Wars designs. I actually do own two different Star Wars Diff eyeglasses and sunglasses. I have a Princess Leia rose gold glasses that I love. And then I also have a pair of C3PO sunglasses. So they do have a pair of Darth Maul polarized sunglasses with this kind of marbled Sith black. They call it black plus Dathomir. So it's got a red and dark space with gray lenses sort of thing. So it's got a really rich, deep red and black balance that is, obviously set to invoke that Zabrak Dathomirian tattoos of Darth Maul. The frame is kind of tapered and it's got these chunky arms that combine with a Sith symbol on the arms. So if you want to get it on this one, I actually got it on sale right now for $79. And I know that for many people, spring break is coming up. Spring is coming up. We just set, most parts of the US at least, we sprung forward with our clock. So we've got a little bit more daylight. And so you can definitely check this one out if you are in need of some fun new sunglasses. And then our second eyewear company is Pair Eyewear. And Pair Eyewear is actually a company that has these interchangeable magnetic frame toppers. So you can buy like a base type of eyeglass and then you can switch styles anytime while keeping the same base frames. So the Darth Maul magnetic frame topper fits the Larkin, Larkin base glasses that they have. So they instantly transform your eyewear with this bold red and black design inspired by, of course, our iconic Sith Lord Maul. And it is part of their official Star Wars collection. And they have 10 toppers currently available in the collection. And I've been threatening to get some of these Pair eyewear because you can obviously get your prescription and then you can switch all these out and then you can basically do whatever your little Star Wars heart desires. And then if you want to go off the Star Wars path, they've got tons of different designs available. And so I know you wear glasses as well, Dennis. So
Mm-hmm.
I only wear 'em mainly for readers and that type of thing. But would you ever be interested in snagging any of these?
Well, I mean, here's the thing that's attracted me to the Pair is that I could do something that looks professional and then something that looks fun with the
Mm-hmm.
replaceable frame that you've got on there that you were talking about. My only concern about things like that is that, right now I have the, and we're talking about the frame, not the lenses, and the lenses tend to be the heaviest part of your glasses, is that I have like the clip-on sunglass covering for my glasses, and that can make the glasses kind of heavy on my
Mm-hmm.
nose and the like.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be interested in checking this out in person before I bought it, just to see what the different weight of those frames that you clip on would be. But like you said, they have so many different. I mean, I'm looking at here. There's what 5, 11, like almost 40 different Star Wars frames that they've got available on their website right now. From things as simple as like Beskar to the Darth Maul design that you talked about, and then like Chewbacca and R2D2. There's plenty of styles there, and what is attractive is that you aren't tied down to just one design in that regard.
Right, right. And so all of the toppers sell for right around $30 a piece. So I know sometimes it can get pretty pricey with, adding the topper and then getting the base and that type of thing. But I mean, if it's something that you're into, changing around your designs quite often, it's a good investment because I know I just use mainly like the cheapo readers that you can get from, like the
Mhm.
dollar store or whatever. And I literally have like one in every room of the house, plus, like in my car and everywhere. But I would like to invest in something a little bit nicer. And so, yeah, I wonder if I think Diff or Pear actually has where you can do a trial and then you have a time where you can send it back if you don't like it. So I needed to look a little bit further into that, but I think I remember seeing that on their
Mhm.
website. So that's definitely something to check into if you are interested. So again, we've got Diff Eyewear and Pear Eyewear, two different types of collections. So there you go. So we're going to move on to some drinkware. So we like our geeky tikis around here at Stardust. So we've got Beeline Creative geeky tikis that is got a Darth Maul ceramic mug. And so this is basically, I'll just read it right off the website. It says, embrace the power of the dark side with this Geeky Tiki's Darth Maul ceramic mug. As a fan favorite character from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Darth Maul has been reimagined with a tropical twist in our latest line of Tiki-style Star Wars mugs. So you can check that out at geekytikis.com. And this one is a really dark red clay, I guess you could say. And he's looking, very, very Maul-ish in that one for sure. And so that one is just one of many different things actually that's available from the Geeky Tiki's line in Beeline Creative. And if you go to the Geeky Tiki's website and you just also search for Mandalorian, you can get about 28 different products that they have available. So not just drinkware, but they also have a button-down women's Aloha shirt. There's a couple of different t-shirts that you can pick from. And then they have their Geeky Tikis as well. And then the one that I picked out, because of course, I can't go any World Between Worlds without focusing on something with Ahsoka on it, is the Mandalorian Season 2 Scenic Mug. And this is a 24-ounce mug that features a wraparound scenic design bursting with characters and imagery from season 2 of the Disney Plus series. So once again, if you need a little something to get yourself revved up for the movie and you want to be a little bit nostalgic with season 2, you can pick this one up. And this 8-inch tall mug is actually part of a limited edition of only 1,500 pieces. So the fact that they still have it available on the website means obviously that they still have some of these available. And this one is in stock, ready to ship for $29.99 if you're ready to check that one out. So there's a few different wraparound mug designs that are actually available on their website. So that's not the only one. But that just happens to be my pick. So once again, just throwing some Mandalorian stuff in there as well. I know you own some Geeky Tikis, don't you?
I actually do not, as a matter of fact, but
I thought you did.
no, I don't. But I don't drink enough beverages that would fit the geeky tiki, the rum inspired stuff and stuff like that. But
That's fair.
they're always fun to look at. And whenever they've been at like celebration stuff, I always stop by their booth and look at those things. But it's just simply one of those things. As cool as they are, it's I gotta limit what I'm collecting at some point. And so we all have to make our decisions. And I've got some Star Wars, just regular coffee mugs, and I talked quite a bit about my Star Wars ice molds and glasses
Hmm.
and things like that for cocktails, and I just haven't supplemented it with any geeky teas at this point. And I wouldn't say no, but the bane of being a Star Wars fan is the risk to be a completist. And it's just one of those things like, once you start down that path, where do you stop? So
Forever will it dominate your destiny.
Yeah. There's, that's just what it is to be a collector.
It is. Is that reference to Darth Bane by any chance?
Could be.
We're talking Sith Lords. Nice job there. I like it. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and switch some gears here. So I did mention in the last episode of World Between Worlds around Valentine's Day about jewelry, of course. But once again, Star Wars Fine Jewelry offers high-end licensed pieces inspired by characters across the galaxy. And they actually do have a Darth Maul collection. It's very striking. So the jewelry leans into those Sith aesthetics, and it has some black rhodium finishes, some dark gemstones like garnet, bold red accents. I picked out a couple of standout pieces for me personally, anyways, and one of them is the Darth Maul diamond and garnet pendant. And so this is just a beautiful pendant featuring black and white diamonds with a deep red garnet centerpiece for that unmistakable dark side vibe. And again, these are high end. So you're talking a little bit of investment here. So this is $400 for this beautiful pendant necklace. And they do have the estimated shipping by March 10th if you pick this up now. And so this is actually coming out, this episode is coming out after that. So you're in luck because you can snag this. And you can also add protection plans to these as well. So if you want a little bit of added insurance, I guess you could say, in your investment, you could get that as well. And then my other pick is the Darth Maul women's bracelet. And this one has black diamonds with garnet and sterling silver with black rhodium. And I love bracelets. I don't wear them as often as I would like, but now that I actually have a little bit more of an ability to do that, since I'm not always teaching cooking all the time anymore, I've been wearing a lot more bracelets. And this one is just absolutely gorgeous. And it's $520. And both of these come with free shipping if you are in the United States. So again, these are officially licensed Star Wars jewelry, and they definitely feel more like collector grade accessories than like typical fandom merch. And I don't want to discard any other companies by saying that, but again, you get what you pay for. That's for sure.
Yeah, indeed. This is they really put some craftsmanship into these, and I'm not a jewelry guy. I wear my wedding ring and that's all. But if I was going to do something else, that men's ring is pretty cool, but it's $500, so I'd have to be a whole lot more committed to it than I am in order to pick that up. But these are pretty impressive looking.
Yeah, truly. And like you said, they also do have stuff for the gentlemen as well. So there's some rings available for the guys. And so once again, if you go to StarWarsFineJewelry.com or you check out the link in our show notes, you can check out all of the different offerings that they have available. So some fun stuff there for sure. All right. So once again, moving on, if you would like to fragrance your abode or your space with some Darth Maul inspired fragrance, we have covered the Nerf Herder Co. several times on World Between Worlds, but I have to give a quick shout out because now the Nerf Herder Co. actually has a brick and mortar store. So I shouldn't say not just, but no, not only an online store, but now if you live in the Salt Lake City area, you can also visit the store yourself. But if you want something Maul inspired, there are some beautiful candles that you can pick up on the website that are the wood wick, which is my favorite because I just love that crackling of the wood wick. And some of the fragrances that the Nerf Herder Co. has are just amazing. So the Darth Maul candle is 13 ounces and it sells for $30. And I'm going to read the description off the website. because she always just does a great job. Darth Maul, that dude went through a lot. I mean, getting cut in half isn't exactly a walk in the park. So for him, we went with something really floral and bright. So now what you actually would expect. So the fragrance is an amber and red peppercorn.
You missed the last paragraph here.
I know, I'm getting to it. I was saving that for last. So the fragrant notes are cherry, ginger, coriander, red peppercorn, amber, sage, dark chocolate, and patchouli. So she goes on to say in the description, just kidding, our scent is modeled after one called Dark Temptation. So if you're familiar with Axe at all, like the Axe fragrances, Dark Temptation is one of their fragrances. So if you have ever scented that, then you know exactly what that is all about. So it's a subtly sweet fragrance with a hint of spice and musk. It is dark with a whole lot of anger built into it. I mean, I'd be pretty mad if someone chopped off my legs and left me for dead. Rude. So it is 100% soy wax candle. And it is a strong cologne fragrance. So depending upon, what kind of fragrance you're looking for, this may be a little bit on that strong side. I have tons and tons of the fragrances that the Nerve Herder Co. has put out. And so I do like some of the cologne fragrances that she has. One of my favorites is actually Hunter for cologne. Love that one. And I actually use that one as a linen spray for my husband's side of the bed. And then on my side of the bed, I use my Japor Snippet because I love that one because it's got a little bit more vanilla-y. But she also has, in addition to candles and fragrance mists, she has wax melts and little roller balls. And now she's even got some car scents as well. So if you're looking for things to put into your rearview mirror instead of, the typical little pine tree kind of thing, you can definitely hit that up. So a lot of fun there. And then last but not least for the Maul things, I found what's called the Anime Ape Chibi Darth Maul pattern snug oversized blanket hoodie. So once again, one of those mouthfuls for the title of the product here. But just as you would imagine, the chibi is that more cartoony kind of feel to it. So this thing is basically a blanket that you can wear, covered in those adorable chibi style pattern of Darth Maul that somehow makes him look kind of cute. Not gonna lie. And the oversized hoodie design wraps you in plush fleece warmth with a giant front pocket for your hands or, snacks during a Star Wars marathon. It's big, cozy, and unisex, so you can basically disappear into it like a Sith hiding in the shadows. So if you want something that says, I serve the dark side, but also please hand me popcorn and turn on the Maul Shadow Lord series, this is it. And I know I love to cuddle up on the couch with a blanket and sometimes my robe, but I would prefer something like this. So this is a lot of fun. And you could wear it out and about too, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. Definitely a little bit more on the kitty side, but a lot of fun.
Nothing blends dangerous and cuddly quite like this.
That's right. A lot of fun. So again, this is on the Anime Ape website, and they do have a lot of other fun things on there as well. So they have shorts, jackets, button-up streetwear, jerseys, long sleeves, different types of button-up Hawaiian shirts, tank tops, all kinds of things. So depending upon what you're looking for, they have a lot of different types of series. Anime is their main, but they also do have a lot of other things besides Star Wars. So they have things like DC Comics and all kinds of fun stuff. So even Game of Thrones. So you have to check it out. And chances are you'll probably find your other favorite franchise besides Star Wars, of course, represented. You never know. And so one of the last things I have for specific product alerts here is that we don't normally cover toys on World Between Worlds, but I actually saw this on Vanessa Marshall's Instagram story the day that we're recording this. And she had put this up that Hasbro Pulse is offering pre-orders of their newest line of the Black Series 6-inch figures. and these are set to ship July 1st of 2026. So, of course, notably several characters from the Maul Shadow Lord series, including Rook Cast, which which Vanessa Marshall voices in addition to Hera, which we are very familiar with. And so there's Rook Cass, there's the Devin Azara character that we're going to see, the 11th brother, of course, Maul, and then it goes on and on from there. So you can head over to the Hasbro Pulse site and you can check all of those out. So thank you, Vanessa, for posting that on your Instagram. So I was just really excited for her because I know she's really excited about returning as Rookcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just a couple more things. So we have 2 holidays coming up. So St. Patrick's Day is right around the corner, so there's not much time to get on board with finding something for that. But I hit up a few of the usual suspects. So Target, Kohl's, and Walmart have tons and tons of different T-shirts and hoodies, and with all kinds of different fun little Star Wars designs. So one of my favorites that I saw is "It's Not Wise to Pinch a Wookiee." Love that one. And so what I found was that many of the same designs for the tees and sweatshirts are on all 3 of those websites. I'm sure that they probably use a lot of the same suppliers. So it really just kind of depends on where you like to shop. So if you need something for St. Patty's Day, last minute, you can head over to one of those 3. And then for Easter and beyond, I went to Etsy because I just love some of the offerings that Etsy has for different holidays, and I was not disappointed. So if you just simply search Star Wars Easter on Etsy, you'll find a lot of really fun things from t-shirts and tote bags that you can even personalize. So if you want to get a tote bag for the littles for their egg hunts, you could definitely do that. And they've got some really fun designs on there. And then one of the things that I thought was really fun is that there is a store on Etsy called Learning Safari, and they have these, they call it Space Wars, Play-Doh jars, sensory kits. You can use them as party favors, that type of thing, but they're just a lot of fun that have like the Play-Doh or glittered Play-Doh, and then they have some other types of things in there as well. So it's got imagination, adventure, hours of creative fun, perfect for all of the little Jedi in our life. So you get a mini Space Wars character. So, Star Wars, like C-3PO, that type of thing. So you can choose between heroes, villains, and droids. You get a 4-ounce jar filled with handmade Play-Doh, which is really cool. Quick aside, I never bought Play-Doh for my kids when they were little. We always made it homemade, and they loved doing it. It was a great rainy day or snow day kind of thing that we used to do. And then they have some loose parts such as stars, galaxy bits, and space-inspired treasures organized in a 4-ounce jar. So that's a fun little thing to put into, the Easter baskets, I think. And so that's why I wanted to highlight that one. So lots of other things available as well on the Etsy site. Once again, if you just simply search Star Wars Easter. And then last but not least, of course, no other World Between Worlds, of course, would be complete without talking about socks. So Rock'em Socks, if you simply search Star Wars, they have their entire collection there. And the ones that they have front and center right now are all of their designs for St. Patrick's Day and Easter. So they actually have 5 or 6, different St. Patrick's Day designs, specifically Star Wars. So I like the Irish I Were a Jedi. Fun little plan words.
Yes.
And then they also have some Easter socks as well. So there's an Easter 3-pack. There's an all over Easter Grogu with your, pastels and that type of thing. They have some fun. They call it the Dark Side Easter that has some stormtroopers with some bunny ears and that type of thing. So individual socks are $19.99 a piece. And then if you're going for the Easter 3-pack, those are $49.99 a piece. And I've been so tempted to pick these up because I love me the socks too. And so that is it for this month's World Between Worlds. Do you see any socks there, Dennis, that
Oh,
radar?
they're cool, but I mean, I need more Star Wars socks like I need a hole in the head right now, especially
Right.
for a pair that I'm going to wear one day a year. So
Mhm.
we've compared our sock drawers in the past,
Right.
photos and text, and yours are even more impressive than I thought originally. But it would be something that's taking up space 364 days of the year. So
Which is
I'm gonna
totally fair.
yeah, I'm gonna pass on those and just wear all my other great Star Wars socks. And I got some that got green in them that I could do for St. Patrick's Day easily.
There you go. Perfect. But the
Mhm.
good news is if you only wear them like one day a year, then they'll last you for years. It's a good investment that way. If you look at like
I suppose, but
and in my defense, I have so many socks, I think, because I also have small feet, so I can shop in the little boy section.
oh, okay.
Much cheaper that way, just
That's
saying.
not an advantage I have at all.
So there you go, a little tip from Jay there if you have small feet. So thank you all for joining us for this episode of Podcast Stardust and this episode of World Between Worlds for March of 2026. And before we go, we'd just like to remind you that you can find all episodes of Podcast Stardust over on retrozap.com. And we certainly hope that you enjoyed our discussion. And if so, please subscribe to Podcast Stardust on the podcatcher of your choice. Again, retrozap.com. You can subscribe on Spotify, YouTube, and YouTube Music, which Dennis will tell you about in just a second. You can like, rate, and subscribe in a lot of different places. And we'd also love it if you would leave us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts, because that one just simply helps to boost us up the algorithms just a little bit more. And if you'd like to find other episodes of the show, you can find all of our back episodes over on retrozap.com and share our show over on social media as well. So, Dennis, can you let everybody know one more time where those social media contacts are?
All right, so we are available on Facebook and Instagram at Podcast Artists. We have some Pinterest boards that you can enjoy as well. As Jay was just suggesting, the show is available on YouTube and YouTube Music, but it is audio only. We don't do video, at least not yet, maybe in the future. And if you want to write to us directly, our email address is podcastartist@gmail.com. And if you're looking for some Podcast Artist merch, then check out the link in the show notes for our store over on TeePublic. Jay, what do you got going on in cosplay?
All right. Well, you can always check me over on my Instagram, which is at j.snipscosplay as Ahsoka, Hera, which we were just talking about. 2 different versions, actually. The Fourth Sister, my original concept Mandalorian, and much, much more. So before we go, typically we let everybody know what we have upcoming on the show, but we're exactly not sure what our programming is going to look like right now. So Dennis, can you fill everybody in on, what's going on and why that is?
Yeah, so you and I have very fluid marches at this point. So we plan on getting out all of our monthly features. World Between Worlds is one of those, but we are hoping to get an episode of our The Force Awakens series out in the next week or so. And then, of course, towards the end of the month, the next installment of the Darth Bane Book Club. But beyond that, be looking for some episodes of our Clone Wars rewatch and news when we get an opportunity to record it. But we're just hoping you all can indulge us for the next couple weeks as we get through busy schedules. At the very least, I'm hoping to get out some rebroadcasts of older episodes, maybe something to do with The Mandalorian as we get closer and closer to the release of The Mandalorian and Grogu.
There you go. So it's going to be kind of like Podcast Stardust roulette for a little while. So that'll
Mm.
be fun. There you go.
Yeah.
The luck of the draw, as it were. So thanks for listening to episode 1010, everyone. Have a great rest of your week. And until next time, may the force of Star Wars fashion and lifestyle